Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So we have a Frankenpede. That's what I'm going to call this thing because it's a little bit of a lot of parts. I've got RPM servo saver, RPM steering knuckles, RPM caster blocks. Man, I should put those on my bandit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. I cobbled together a couple of half shafts out of some parts. I've got slash or stampede 4x4 rear A-arms. The pins I'm going to have to hot glue the ends in to keep them in place under load because they're not original. I don't even think I might have 2 original screws. Oh, maybe 4, but not too many of them anyways. I've got lock pins for each side that are just screws that I found that I threaded through the holes, and suspension still works, so who cares. I've got pins here. These are Rustler A-arms, and they were actually the originals from my Rustler because I upgraded it to RPM. The screws that are holding the shocks in on the bottom, they fit the holes fine, and they were long enough to go through the other side, so hey, they get to go in. Top screws here holding, I don't even know what this plate is. I'd have to look up the diagram actually. This used to be a gravedigger originally. I still have the wheelie bar mount too that I'm going to keep for another project. 12-turn Titan motor, 2056 servo. XL5 speed control is going to go in this thing. I have no idea how I'm going to mount all this up, but I guess I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll have to drill some holes into this plate. I do have the waterproof receiver box kicking around somewhere in this disaster. But anyways, what I want to do with this thing is make a sled conversion. And well, this is a good place to start. I have no idea how I'm going to put a body on this thing yet. I may even do it as an ATV sled, because I do still have an ATV body, but not sure how to hook it up. We'll figure that out because I only have a rear shock tower with a mount. I don't have front body mounts anywhere, and so yeah. And I'm not going to spend any money on this thing. I'm cobbling together from whatever I can find that fits into holes and, you know, for screws and stuff, and slam it together. Even the front A-arms, they're held on with threaded on pins, but they're shorter ones, so they only go about 3/4 of the way down. So there's a bit of a back spot, but it's pretty stiff 3/4 of the way down, and there's not going to be a lot of pressure and load going on here anyways, and so I really don't care. The gearing I'm going with is 2383 for this. I figure that's a good gearing ratio for this sucker. I still got to set the mesh on it, yeah, it's definitely a Frankenpede for sure. It's kind of interesting. It'll be more interesting once it's all complete, but I thought I'd show you where I was at. And the first initial test, of course, is going to be wheels all the way around. I do have a set of 4 matched tires for this, so we'll have to give this thing a little bit of a beating. And so stay tuned for that on this video too, so don't go away. It'll be instant for you. Now my servo is rebuilt 2056, and which is fine. It works. I don't need a super fast servo anyway, and not for this project. But I've got this battery box. This is actually from a Traxxas nitro machine of some sort, and so I use that along with my little receiver here, and where are we? Right here. So that can go into there. It's nice to have this little box around for testing stuff like this. And this is just to power the servo. It's got a nice little mixture of parts though. It's got RPM caster blocks and steering knuckles, and I think that's the only RPM parts actually on this thing. The guy that I got the parts from, and there was a lot missing, he also gave me RPM A-arms for the front of this thing. And they're the same ones that go on the Bandit, so I might swap them onto the Bandit, because I'm selling my Bandit anyways. And it's already got some RPM upgrades, including a rear arm, so might as well throw a front set on it, I guess. But anyways, so most of the screws here, God knows where they're from, but they fit the holes, they threaded in, and they went nice and snug, so that's good. These pins are going to be glued in place at the back. But yeah, should be interesting once this is up and running. And it's going to end up with skis on it in the end, in the front end. Is where I'm going to end up slamming the skis, so I've got to still make some mounts. I'm thinking I might want to actually have this one sit up high, so I got an idea in mind for that to do, so I'm going to work on that. And I got to, of course, block off the holes. These were skis with wheels, and so I need for snow usage, so we'll modify those. But so far, coming along pretty darn good. I have no idea what's going to go on this thing for a body, though. Haven't figured that out yet. I mean, I could make it a sled ATV, because I still have my ATV body. Have no idea how I'm going to hook it up. Might have to modify the shock tower a little bit, and maybe something up front here. But then I could actually do it that way. That would work. But so far, so good. And we just continue on, and so stay tuned for the test that's going to go on with this thing with all four wheels. And like I said, we'll give it a bit of a beating and see how things go and see how fast it actually is on dry land, and that'll give us a good idea for the winter. And I got to find some winter chunky tires for the back. I know a lot of you guys are going like, paddle tires, man, paddle tires. Well, I do have a set here. I can try that out and see if I rip my rear end off like I did last year with the Bandit. Brushless power and the big paddle tires I had were a little bit too much for it. So we'll see. But anyways, don't go away, instant for you. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back, and welcome to the first maiden run of the Frankenpede. See how this thing runs out. And I've got Traxxas Telluride tires on this thing, so they'll have some grip. Not bad with a 7-cell NIM pack. Oh, let's see what kind of speed we can get. We'll just give her. This is a 4200 milliamp NIM pack, by the way, so a little bit more juice than a stock Traxxas battery. They're usually around 3,000. Full throttle. Okay, let's see how fast it goes by the camera. I'll just keep my head still. There we go. So, I'd say not too shabby. Still got lots of torque too. That's kind of cool. Alright, so next thing we gotta do is figure out how to put a body on this thing. I have no gear cover. I need a gear cover. And I gotta figure out how to mount the skis. So once all that's done, of course, new video, and hey, hopefully we get some snow for the skis, but I ain't complaining if we don't get snow either. I'm just as good to leave the wheels on. Catch you later, guys. Thanks.